Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Mac Story.
All right, let's get started with part 11 of 17 on the Managing People versus Leading People series. Last time we talked about the concern of a leader or manager. Today we're talking about the area of growth. And again, we're talking about the difference between a manager mindset and a leader's mindset. And if you listen to the other episodes, I'm talking about some stuff that comes from chapter 11 from my book, Defining Influence. Increasing your influence increases your options. And when you print this chapter on a 8.5 by 11 document, it's around 20 pages. And there's a lot more in it than just this manager versus leader section that I'm adding a lot to it as I talk about it on these podcasts. But you can go download this chapter, the entire chapter, for free. You can download it on my website. You can go to bluecollarleadership.com and look under the programs menu and go down to Defining Influence. Click on that, and you'll see an opportunity to download a chapter, and that chapter is this chapter. And there's this information plus a lot more that you can download there. Plus, you can listen to a 5-minute audio. And actually, if you go to the other programs, if you go to Blue Collar Leadership for the workers and Blue Collar Leadership and Supervision for the leaders, there's audio files there. Actually, all of them have audio files. But on those two, you can also download the first 5 chapters from each of those books. So there's a lot of free content and downloads there. There's video series for some of those books where I'm doing like I do on this podcast, except for I do it on videos. So I take some of those books, Blue Collar Leadership and Supervision, Change Happens, those 3 books, Blue Collar Kaizen. So there's actually 4 books on there. All those books have 30 chapters. So basically, they all have 30 videos for each book. Those videos mostly are 3 minutes. Some of them go up to 8 minutes, but most of the videos are 3 minutes. So you can get on there and follow through to the YouTube channel and actually see the entire video series. So lots and lots of free content. I don't do all this just to make money. I get paid a lot of money sometimes, but I do it to make a difference. And I ain't worried about the money. The money takes care of itself. I do this stuff to make a difference. So there's lots and lots of free content. So today we're talking about, again, in the area of growth. You're listening to these podcasts indicates to me you have a leadership mindset, but we can always improve. Remember, we're always under construction. So I'm sharing these with you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, investing in yourself and your growth and development. Maybe you're sharing this with your team. If you work somewhere, tell your team about these podcasts. A lot of people don't even know about podcasts. A lot of people out there have smartphones today. I happen to have an iPhone, and I'm sure the other phones are the same way, but if you have an iPhone, it comes with one of the icons on there is a purple podcast button. So there's probably people on your team that have an iPhone that don't ever listen to podcasts. Show them where that purple button is. Show them how to type in Mac Story or Blue Collar Leadership, and they can subscribe to this podcast. And now not only are you learning, but they're learning too. So you're learning a lot of the same stuff. That's a leader mindset, focused on growth and development, not only of themselves, but of others. So let's look at what a manager thinks about growth. Managers of people, they grow slowly and accidentally through day-to-day activities while reaching goals set by others. They avoid intentional growth beyond what is required. That's a manager mindset. And again, you don't have to have a formal authority position to have a manager mindset. You can be a frontline entry-level worker with a manager mindset because, see, we're either managing ourselves through life or we're leading ourselves through life. These principles, they apply to everyone. Mostly in this series, I'm talking about formal authority leaders and how they view themselves and their role and what they do or don't do for their teams. But I'm telling you today, you are either managing your life or leading your life. These principles, they apply to you individually as a person, personally and professionally, just as much as they apply to someone in a formal authority leader. In the blue-collar world, most everybody calls that person a boss. So it applies to everybody who is a boss or who is not a boss. So how do leaders see growth? Leaders of people, a leadership mindset, they grow quickly and intentionally by setting and developing goals, not only for themselves, but also for others. They seek growth beyond what is required. See, a manager mindset says, I'm only going to do what's required. A leadership mindset says, I'm going to do beyond what's required. High impact leaders very, very intentionally do this. So high impact leaders grow the organization by growing the people. They know the only way they can grow the people is to first grow themselves. Strong leaders in this area, in the area of growth, are always reading, attending seminars, watching videos, or listening to audio books or podcasts like this one to further develop their character and competency. These leaders are out front, sharing and teaching others what they are learning. And again, if you've been listening to my podcast a long time, that means you actually like the content and you're growing intentionally and developing yourself. That means you have a leadership mindset for yourself in the area of your personal growth. But it takes a higher level of leadership to say, I want to grow and develop other people. So have you shared about this podcast with your team? That's someone could be reporting to you. That's people who are equal to you at your level, your peers, your coworkers, or even up. High impact leaders lead 360 degrees from wherever they are. So high impact leaders are growth oriented, not goal oriented. They set goals, but it's to achieve growth nonstop. Their top goal is continuous growth. They set lots of small goals that facilitate continuous growth, but whenever they reach a goal, there's another goal to set. It's not like I reached the goal and I'm finished. My goal may be to get a bachelor's degree. So when I graduate, I'm done and I never read any more books. I never do any more intentional growth or learning. I'm just finished. That's a goal mindset. A growth mindset says, I'm going to get a bachelor's degree, and I go get it. When I get done, I say, what's next? Do I want a master's degree, or do I just want to start reading books that I'm interested in and self-educate myself? But some way, I'm going to continuously grow and learn my entire life. Instead of a 4-year degree, I'm going to get a 40-year degree. All right? So think about that. When it comes to growth, do you have a manager's mindset and you only do what's required? Or do you have a leadership mindset and you do more than is required? And again, the more that you're doing, the higher level of leadership you actually have. So I hope you got a couple of nuggets today. Next time, we're going to be talking about credit. Taking credit, giving credit, that sort of thing. That aspect of a manager and a leader. So we're just finishing up part 11 of this 17-part series. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.